Welcome to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. The current funding level for the Hays Regional Airport is not sufficient for future operational and capital funding needs. During Thursday night's Hays City Commission work session, Public Works Director I.D. Creech explained airport funding comes from four sources: the mill levy, land rental, hangar rentals, and landing fees and business licenses. The airport currently gets 1 mil of the entire mill levy for operations, about $199,000 a year. Creech said an increase in the mill levy portion for the airport would substantially fund it on a regular and steady basis. The airport could also implement a passenger facility charge up to $4.50 per passenger. SkyWest estimates it will serve 13,000 passengers a year, generating $50,000 to $59,000 annually. A recommendation for airport budget enhancements will be made during the city's 2015 budget work sessions. A special meeting next Tuesday evening will serve as a retreat for the Hays USD 489 School Board. No action will be taken. Agenda items include building reports from principals and how they'll handle operations in 2014-15 in light of the budget constraints. Technology Director Brian Drennan will present a draft of the district's technology plan and infrastructure needs, and Superintendent Dean Catt and Business Manager Tracy Kaiser will update the board about the budget situation. Catt will also lead the board through a self-evaluation process. As the school term comes to a close, Dean Catt says it's been both rewarding and gut-wrenching during his first year as Hays USD 489 superintendent. He moved to Hays in August to serve as interim superintendent. He was hired in December. The entire time, Catt and the Board of Education have been looking for ways to close a $1.3 million budget gap and still maintain the education standards for Hays children. This week, board members agreed to raise activity and workbook enrollment fees and to implement a kindergarten fee. They also approved reductions in bus routes. Catt says the measure will add about $136,000 to the budget.
I am very positive that the board made the decisions that they did on fees and transportation, and feel like we really have come to a point now that we can start looking at how we're going to rebuild.
However, Catt says the revenue increase is not enough to rehire teachers whose contracts were not renewed for next year. If the June 4th local option budget passes, Catt says some of the 16 teachers could be brought back. Catholic schools in Hays facing some budget concerns of their own as well as space issues. During a strategic planning meeting earlier this week, Bishop Edward Weissenberger of the Salina Diocese outlined long-range plans. Holy Family Elementary School has a waiting list, according to Thomas More Prep Marian High School Advancement Director Jeff Brohl. It's been determined that reopening Kennedy Middle School to operate a third campus is too expensive. Brohl says there are options with the existing Holy Family building, which is an Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish School.
The parish has their own space needs also. And, you know, there's a lot of shared spaces at Holy Family Elementary, and with the church being so new still, the parish still has a construction debt to pay off on the church, and so until what the bishop has voiced is until the parish debt is retired on the church to the point where then they can start converting the church basement into usable parish space. And then we would be at a point where the activity center at Holy Family Elementary, which is the old gym on the east side of the building, could be converted into additional classrooms. But I mean, even with the advent, I mean, the incorporation of new classrooms, you still have to look at operational expenditures like having to hire more teachers. And then if you increase capacity at the lower grades, you have to always be thinking ahead.
Brohl says the high school residence hall facilities require more than $1 million in badly needed repairs. If the money can't be raised, host families might be asked to come forward with living quarters for the 50 to 60 boarder students, or the program might be closed in May 2015. Another upcoming issue, the hiring of a new principal for TMP Marian Junior Senior High School for the 2015-16 school year. Kathy Taylor, a longtime faculty member, has served as TMP principal the past 2 years. She'll be departing after the 2014-15 school year. Budget host Villa Inn and Suites in Hays and the Kansas Department of Revenue have reached an agreement for a payment arrangement. The state announced Thursday afternoon the motel assets have been released and the business, which was closed Monday, is reopened. Owners Dempal Patel and Vijay Patel owe $86,000 in state sales and transient taxes. The unemployment rate in Ellis County dropped to 2.3% in April, nearly the lowest in Kansas. That's down from 2.7% in February, according to the Kansas Department of Labor. Unemployment is low across all of northwest Kansas, with Logan and Nez counties boasting a jobless rate of just 2.2%, and those are the lowest in the state. Rooks and Osborne counties have the highest rates of unemployment in the area at 3.8%. The state unemployment rate is 4.8%. That's down from 5.5% a year ago. Goodland has hired a new city manager. Mayor Annette Fairbanks says Jerry Beaker is leaving his position June 20th as the Chapman city manager and will start working Goodland July 1st. Beaker has served in Chapman since December 2009. He is also a former public works director for the city of Colby.
Shop now during Miller's of Claflin's 111th anniversary celebration. We guarantee to have the lowest prices and the best selection you'll find in our fully displayed, not one, not two, but 13 showrooms featuring the best selection of furniture, 40 different mattress models, and the newest in flooring products. While here, one of our knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in your furnishing needs. We didn't build a reputation like ours overnight. Go ahead, shop around, or just come to Miller's of Claflin and find out why we are the place to shop. From our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve you for 111 years with selection and savings.
What's up with Bob and Carol's porta potty? You've seen their nasty, dirty bathroom. They're finally getting it remodeled. But it's been 2 weeks with that porta potty on their front lawn. Why didn't they call Steeders? That's what Ron and Mary did. They got a Pro Lux bathroom remodel in less than 2 days.
I hear Steeders uses an acrylic liner that's 4 times stronger and 3 times thicker. And they can do walk-in tubs and showers too.
Schedule your ProLux bathroom makeover with Steeder Contractors in Great Bend.
Youthful body, tight tummy, smooth facial lines. Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is here to help you achieve your goals and give yourself the new look you've always wanted. Greystone offers sophisticated surgical and non-surgical cosmetic procedures. With services now available locally, there's no need to wait any longer. Contact Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery at Hayes Medical Center today or online at greystonecosmetic.hayesmed.com.
How safe is your home? This ABC Seamless Burn Test shows how quickly a fire can spread on petroleum-based vinyl siding. However, the ABC Seamless Steel siding remains structurally unaffected. Don't get burned with vinyl. Protect your home, your possessions, and your family with beautiful, durable, and energy-efficient ABC Seamless Steel siding. Affordable financing available. ABC Seamless. Better products, better installation, better warranty.
This is a news update from the Salina Post. Kansas labor officials say the state's unemployment rate dropped in April to a seasonally adjusted 4.8%, down from 4.9% in March. The rate reported by the State Department of Labor Thursday shows the state's rate below the 5.5% for April of 2013. Private sector job growth was 0.2% for the month, with the creation of 1,900 new jobs. The Labor Department says 16,900 jobs have been added over the past year when adjusting for seasonal fluctuations. A labor economist says the data suggests the positive economic growth, noting that the number of people continuing to receive unemployment benefits fell in April to about 109,000, compared with nearly 140,000 a year ago. Figures count all available unemployment benefit programs. The economy appears to be gaining strength in rural parts of 10 plains and western states, including Kansas. The overall economic index for the region improved to 55.6 in May from April's 53.2, suggesting growth in the months ahead. The survey of bankers in the region uses index that range from 0 to 100, with 50 representing growth neutral. A score above 50 suggests that growth in the months ahead. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has designated 13 counties in Kansas as primary natural disaster areas due to the recent drought. They include the following central Kansas counties of McPherson, Rice, and Marion. Farmers and ranchers in the following continuous counties in central Kansas also receive natural disaster assistance. They are Dickinson, Ellsworth, and Saline counties. All counties were designated natural disaster areas May 14th, making all qualified farm operators in the designated areas eligible for low-interest emergency loans from USDA's Farm Service Agency, provided eligibility requirements are met. Farmers in the eligible counties have 8 months from the date of declaration to apply for loans to help cover part of their actual losses. Governor Brownback says phasing out the Kansas mortgage registration fee will help the state's economy grow, but counties fear they'll be forced to boost property taxes to make up for the lost revenue. The governor said Thursday that a home is the biggest purchase most people make, and phasing out the fee will help borrowers just a little bit. He signed the legislation earlier this week to phase out the fee by 2019. The state imposes a fee of $2.60 for every $1,000 borrowed to register mortgages, and most of the money goes to all of the state's 105 counties. The new law will increase other fees, but the legislature's staff projects the counties will still lose $53 million over the next 5 years, and some county officials believe those estimates understate the potential losses. Kansas will give its residents more information about the activities of law enforcement agencies under a new law that takes effect in July. Under the new law, affidavits used to support arrest warrants and search warrants will be available upon request to the public. A decades-old statute had closed the records to the public unless a court otherwise ordered them to be unsealed. Supporters say the new law will make law enforcement agencies more accountable. Governor Brownback says the new law still protects legitimate law enforcement interest. It allows prosecutors to seek to have records from arrest and search warrants sealed or redacted to protect sensitive information. Governor Brownback has filed for re-election, saying that under his watch, Kansas has become a lighthouse for the nation. Brownback and Lieutenant Governor Jeff Collier filled out the necessary paperwork Thursday to ensure that they're on the ticket for the August 5th primary. They were joined in the State House by former Senator Bob Dole and Mary Jean Eisenhower, a granddaughter of President Dwight Eisenhower. Dole and Eisenhower are honorary leaders of Brownback's re-election campaign. Brownback touted cuts to income taxes aimed at creating job growth as an example of his first-term leadership. Brownback faces primary challenge from Wichita landscaping business owner Jennifer Wynn. Kansas House Minority Leader Paul Davis of Lawrence is the only announced Democratic candidate. This has been a news update from the Salina Post.
Thanks, Randy. And remember to stay in touch with what happens this weekend. It's just a click away at hayespost.com. Our weekend weather forecast is next with meteorologist Dan Holliday. Stay tuned.
Have you heard about the best kept secret in Hayes? Hi, I'm Treva Benoit, Director of Cedar View Assisted Living. Let's find out what our residents have to say.
The staff is absolutely precious.
I've been at Cedar View for 11 years and I'm happy.
I really like the activities at Cedar View.
The staff is very able, they're all well trained, and I just love them all.
Cedar View is owned by individuals that live in Ellis County and are committed to Hayes and its surrounding communities. Cedar View Assisted Living, the care you need, the home you want.
We are quality.
We are Northwestern Printers.
Listed in the Nextech directory.
Imagine controlling your DVR with your iPad or iPhone. With Eagle Fusion, you can schedule or manage recordings from wherever you are. Call 877-61-EAGLE to get Fusion for only $5 per month.
Imagine quickly finding what you want to watch. Eagle Fusion's easy search feature can find programs by your favorite actors, subject, or title. Get Eagle Fusion for only $5 per month by calling 877-61-EAGLE today.
Welcome back. The Hayes Police Department will step up patrols this weekend as high school and college graduates, along with their families, celebrate commencement. Fort Hays State University's graduation ceremony is Saturday. Hayes High School's graduation is Sunday. Assistant Police Chief Brian Dawson reminds the public about the free Safe Ride Shuttle program and the responsibilities of hosting parties. The police will conduct a drunk and driving saturation patrol Saturday.
It looks like the cool pattern is going to hang on at least through Saturday, but by Sunday we'll start to slowly warm back up and a huge warm up by Monday. Our overnight low in the upper 30s, a slight chance of rain throughout the weekend, 62 on Saturday, Sunday 71. From the Eagle Storm Watch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
And that is Hayes Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. Have a great weekend.